Welcome you friends to our second class of law of contract. In our last class we discussed the certain concept or introductory portion of law of contract. Now we are going to discuss the various essentials of a valid contract. Okay friends, in our last class we discussed a few essentials of a valid contract. We just discussed the two parties, offer and acceptance, and the lawful object and consideration. Okay, these were the basic needs of a valid contract, but in detail we can divide all these essentials in so many parts. The first is two parties. When we are talking about the parties, okay, we discussed in our class that there must be an agreement, there must be a consideration and promise when we are talking about a contract. So firstly, when we are talking about two parties, at the same time we must be aware that two parties must be competent to contract. Okay, the competency of parties is also an important part of law of contract, and at the same time when we are talking about the parties, there must be a mutual consent between them. If they are mutually agreed to complete a contract, to make a valid contract, there must be the consent, but consent should be free. Okay, so all these things are interrelated. We have different ideas about the different concepts, but in a simple meaning, in a simple way, we can discuss their basic need, two parties. When we are entering into a contract, we can understand all these terms with a simple example. Suppose there are two friends and they are entering into a contract. Suppose A and B, they are two friends. Okay, and A is willing to sell his car. Okay, so A offer B that I am willing to sell out my car in 50,000 rupees. Okay, so firstly what we discussed, it is just a revision what we discussed yesterday. So firstly, A and B, there are two parties. There is a subject matter, car is the subject matter, 50,000 rupees. So A is asking to B, I am willing to sell out my car in 50,000 rupees. Are you agree to purchase this car? Suppose it is just an offer made by A to B. If B agrees to purchase this car, okay, it is an acceptance and there is an agreement between the parties. If both the parties are competent, okay, and they are agreed upon the same subject matter, so there is a consent between the parties. Okay, so it is a valid contract, because suppose they transfer the car, the possession of the car and all the rights within the car to B, and B is not ready to pay that 50,000 rupees. It means that there is a chance to claim his right through the court. It means person can apply to the court to purchase, to recover his money, to recover his claim from B. Okay, so what are the essentials? There are two parties, a subject matter, a valid consideration, a lawful object. Okay, all these contents are completed in this example. That's why it is a valid contract. Now we are going to discuss one by one what are the essentials actually is. Firstly, we discuss two parties. Okay, whenever we discuss there must be two parties. Okay, in essential we discuss offer and acceptance. The person who asks something, okay, if I am offering something, I am ready to sell out my mobile. Okay, when I am talking about this mobile, it means I am offering something to another party. So two parties, the first party who makes an offer is called promisor. Okay, the person who makes an offer or a proposal, he is called promisor, and the person who accepts the same is called promisee. Okay, so there are two parties, the one is the promisor and other is the promisee. In the continuation with the same topic, there must be competent parties. Firstly, we discussed about the parties. Now we are going to discuss about the competency of the parties. Okay, when we are talking about the competency of the parties, in the competency of the parties, it is mentioned in the law of contract, and this is talking about the three kinds of competencies of a person. The parties of the contract must be major, sound mind, and not disqualified by law of contract or law of land. It means under another laws. Okay, so competency of the parties, there are three essential कि which kind of parties are competent to make a contract. So firstly, they must be major. When we are talking about the majority of a person, it is according to the age. As per Indian Majority Act, a person who completed his age of 18 years, that person is major for a particular contract. Okay, so what is the first requirement of the competency? The age of a person, and which is 18 years of the age. Okay, now the second part is the sound mindness. The person should not be insane at the time of making contract. Kindly remember this particular term, at the time of making contract. When we are talking about the competency of a person, if a person is sound mind, okay, if a person is sound mind who can understand the terms of a contract and the effect of the contract on his own interest, is called a sound mind person. There is a question which is frequently asked in the various examination if you are preparing for the CLAT or for other services. There is a question, suppose a person who is basically a sound mind person, but he is suffering from certain kinds of attacks, okay, and during those attacks he entered into a contract. Is there any valid contract? So remember, always in each and every situation, at the time of making contract, the person should be sound mind. Maybe a person is insane, but there are a few time periods. There is a term where he is completely sound mind, and at that particular time he entered into a contract. That person is sound mind for the purpose of law of contract. Okay, so majority 18 years. Sound mindness, okay, the sound mindness is not always about the insanity or the unsoundness of a person. We are talking about only an idiot. An idiot is an unsound mind person, but remember when I am talking about the insanity of a person, always remember insanity, there are few examples. For example, a person who is drunken, okay, he is unsound mind for the purpose of law of contract. A person who is insane, who is drunken, who is in the effect of certain medicines, he is not able to understand a particular contract, that person is called unsound mind. Okay, so it is completely based on the fact of the case. Now, the not disqualified by law of contract or by law of land. That person, when I am talking about the disqualification, there are few persons, for example, a convict. Okay, a convict cannot enter into a contract. Okay, a person who is the ambassador or who is the minister from other country, or the various minister, the prime minister of various countries and the presidents of various countries, they are completely barred to make a contract within India. Okay, so these persons are disqualified by law of land. Okay, the convicts and the various ambassador and the ministers and the president, the prime ministers are disqualified to make a contract within India. So we cannot apply these rules and these regulations which is mentioned in provisions of law of contract on those persons. Okay, so whenever we talk about the parties, there are three competency: majority, sound mindness, and not disqualified by law of land. Okay, so these are the disqualification. Then we can discuss about the consent. There is an important term in the law of contract. Yeah, we will discuss all this term by as per the provisions of these sections, but I am just discussing about a brief idea of each and everything which are the essential part of valid contract. When I am talking about the consent means when two persons are agreed to do something on the same subject matter in the same sense, they are said to be consented on a particular topic. Okay, so basically when we are talking about the consent, a person person is agree to enter into a contract. It is talking about the willingness of a person. If a person is willfully agree to do something, it is called consent. And for the purpose of law, always remember the consent must be free. Okay, free consent. Okay, so a consent is called a free consent if a consent is free from coercion, it is free from fraud, it is free from misrepresentation, it is free from mistake and undue influence. So there are 5 bars of free consent. Okay, if a consent is suffering from coercion, it is undue influence, mistake, misrepresentation and fraud. Okay, so we will discuss each and every concept in detail, so then we can say it is a free consent. And the concept of free consent required the important terms: 2 persons, 2 minds, same topic, same sense. If 2 parties are agreed on a same subject matter in the same sense, it is said that there is a free consent. Okay, so it is a concept of free consent. Then the concept of offer and acceptance. Yeah, we discussed promisor and promisee. If there are 2 parties, the one is the offerer and it is accepted by the another person, so it is an important essential of a valid contract: offer and acceptance. Okay, we may find a word proposal in lieu of offer in certain books. Okay, both are similar, but in India we have the concept of offer, and on the other hand we have the concept of proposal. So both are similar for the purpose of law of contract. When we are talking about a proposal or about the offer, remember, when one person signifies his willingness to do something or to abstain from doing something, okay, to obtain the assent of that another person, it is said that person is making a proposal or an offer. Okay, this is the definition of offer.